Hi everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel and another paper crafting video tutorial for STAMPtember 2025. Today's limited edition exclusive collaboration is with Penny Black. I absolutely love this stamp set and I created a one-layer card and I can't wait to show you and share all my tips and tricks for how I created this. We're going to start with a 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch panel of smooth white cardstock, and I grabbed my favorite masking stencils from Simon Says Stamp, and I originally thought I would use the largest one with the most surface area showing, and I thought, that's just not enough border. So I decided to go one size down and layer that, and I think that's going to be perfect, leaving us with this bold white border around our design. From the two images included in the Bright and Merry Penny Black set, I chose the birds on the branch. Once I have them positioned where I want them to go, I'm going to stamp with Nocturne VersaFine ink from Simon Says Stamp right on my panel. This is going to give us a beautiful bold black outline, and it's going to work great with the distress pencils we're going to use for coloring today. Then we're going to go back and grab our mask, and I am going to blend in Speckled Egg and Uncharted Mariner Distress Oxide inks to build my wintry sky black background. No masking needed. Because I'm using water-based coloring for everything I'm doing today, I'm going to simply color right over the top of this ink blending. I often don't worry about masking when I'm doing this as long as I'm still able to apply a dark enough color over the top. And really in this case, you could take your picket fence distress pencil and add some white back in if you needed to. I try not to color super heavy over the images, but again, you can see I did not avoid them either. Then I'm going to go in with my distress pencils and I'm going to start laying down my color for the branches first. For this, I felt like I should go ahead and build my base. What I love about this particular technique is the masking stencil instantly mats up your design. One layer, you don't even have to add any extra cardstock at all, and it always looks amazing. I cannot believe that I have not used these masking stencils, I bet, in a year. I definitely need to go back to using my masking stencils more because I love them. The other thing I really love and that makes this card more interesting is that the design extends beyond that masked border. Whenever I am doing masking design like this, I really love when either the image extends beyond or you've stamped it off, you've used that masking stencil as the mask and you've stamped the design and it just looks like it goes beyond, but you don't actually have that stamped image, if that makes sense. I always love how that looks. So next I'm going in and I'm starting to color my birds. I did opt to go for some nice neutrals here. I briefly considered when I get to the second bird some blues, and I pretty quickly decided that was a no. And so I will color over the top with these same browns, yellows. All of the colors I'm using will be listed down in the description below. I'll link to each individual pencil. I will say my Pour Ground Espresso pencil, it's that little shorty guy there. I broke it like right after I got these a year or so ago. And so I really probably should replace it, but it still works. I just have to be a little carefuler. Here you can see me coloring with it when I'm coloring. I love these birds. I think they are so stunning. I was so excited to see Penny Black included in the STAMPtember lineup this year. I am a huge fan of Penny Black stamps. I don't get a chance to use them all that often anymore. So this was such a treat. I think their designs are beautiful. And again, it was so much fun. This also colored up really, really quickly. Now, once I'm done coloring in my images, I will go in with a black Jelly Roll pen and add detail back in for the eyes of my birds. And then once that black Jelly Roll pen is dry, I will go ahead and add a little white back into the little highlight on the eye as well, because that is how the stamp stamped, but I always like to really make sure the face pops. Then we want to build that snowy kind of wintry effect. And to do this, I am going to go back, take my stencil, and I am using a plastic spatter box, and the magnets and magnetic board from Glassboard Studio are strong enough that I was able to even go through the plastic box to hold that in place. And I am going to add the Simon Says Stamp white splatter all over. I did try to be as careful as possible that I didn't get it like right on the eye, but I want it to look like they're sitting in this snowy scene. After that, we do want to let this go ahead and completely dry. And now comes the fun embellishment part before we add our sentiments. I'm going to go ahead and add some little red quote unquote berries to my scene using the Spellbinders red gems. I chose these because the red gems in this set are so super tiny and I love them. Then I thought our largest, maybe our mama bird, needed a Santa hat. So I went to my stash and I found this adorable little Santa hat in the Christmas Bird Poinsettia set from Spellbinders. And I am going to die cut it from some red cardstock and white glitter cardstock and pop it on our little mama bird's head. And to me, this just added such a fun, whimsical touch to our bird. Next, we do want to add our sentiments from the stamp set. There are 3 different options, and we're going to combine 2 of them for our card today. Our sentiments are also going to extend outside of that masked area just a little bit at the top and over on the right side. But again, it looks really natural and beautiful. If I had planned it maybe a little different, maybe I would have done the other sentiment down below. But I feel that upper right corner is just the perfect spot for our greetings. It reads, Merry Christmas wishes from our home to yours, and then the warmth of good friends. Or from our home to yours, the warmth of good friends. I just thought these looked really nicely together on here, and I apologize for my head. I was having the worst time getting that second sentiment lined up. You can see it. You can see it from here on the playback, how it's skewed. And so I really was like, do not mess up all this hard work that you put into this 1-layer card by stamping this incorrectly. So I took my time getting it lined up, and then we're simply going to stamp that again with the Nocturne ink. Then I decided we needed just a couple more embellishments before we place this on our card base. That's going to include some little holly berries and leaves and some little clay snowflakes. Now, I didn't actually have any kind of die cuts, nor do I even think there are any die cuts quite this tiny. So what I did is I have these Pretty Pink Posh embellishments. This is from the latest Pretty Pink Posh release called Holly Berries. And we are going to place little leaves and berries in a couple of spots. So kind of at the tail of the Y in the word Merry. And then I do want to add some little holly leaves to the brim of the little Santa hat as well. Originally, I put 3 berries down on the word Merry and then the 2 leaves. And then I went over to the bird and I added 2 leaves and 1 red berry, and I quickly realized that looked so much better. And before the glue dried, I actually picked off all of the other and I leave it in because I always think it's good to admit and show how I fixed it. Obviously, this is not going to be a fix if you let that dry very long. It is not going to be able to be picked off without ruining your card. And it's not terrible, but I felt like it was a little too much, if that makes sense. And so I really quickly just picked them up with my nails and then redid them with just 2 leaves and 1 red berry. I loved this, but I like to do my embellishments in groups of 3s. But I couldn't find another natural spot for another holly berry and leaves. I just didn't feel like there was anywhere else that would look good. So I opted not to add any other holly berries and leaves, and instead went and grabbed another mix from Pretty Pink Posh called Holiday Cheer. I think it's from 2024, and I took the white clay snowflakes from that set and I scattered those around my card just to kind of help reinforce the falling snow feel and finish off the card perfectly. I mean, you guys, those little holly berries and leaves are these cutest little things. I think they dress it up beautifully, and what I love about this card is look at all the depth and dimension, even though it's pretty much one layer. I love this. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for the STAMPtember 2025 limited edition exclusive featuring Penny Black. The supplies I used are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Thank you so much for joining me today. I truly love sharing creativity with this amazing community of crafters. A special thank you goes out to my wonderful Patreon members. I appreciate you all so much. If you'd like to join us on Patreon, you'll find the link in the video description below. Patreon is a private community where you can support more of what I do and enjoy exclusive content, behind the scenes updates, and extra perks. There's something for everyone, and we'd love to have you join our growing community. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, click that like button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.